20 years ago, I went to prison for the disappearance of my best friend. When it happened, I tried to explain exactly how it went down, but nobody believed me. Eventually, I caved in from being coerced by my interrogators and confessed to their version of events, and I pled no contest to the charges. Now that I'm finally free, even though the life I used to have no longer exists, I'm finally capable of sharing the true story. His name was Bennett, and we grew up together. Neither of us were strangers to crime. Most of what we did was petty stuff. We never robbed or killed anyone, but we had our habits and our hustles. Truthfully, we didn't do any of it because we had to. Both of us were from some pretty well-off families, and we just found it fun to break the rules sometimes. One thing we particularly enjoyed doing together was breaking into construction sites and abandoned buildings. We'd built up some confidence with that, and we never got caught doing any of it. Well, that was until we broke into the abandoned police station. The police department had just finished building a brand new station a mile or so down the road from the old one, which was built in the 40s, and it had already been outgrown by the size of the town many years ago. That meant there was this 60-year-old building with a ton of dark history that was now completely deserted. Bennett and I couldn't resist. We bought a knockoff Polaroid camera to capture some eerie images, and we wore empty backpacks to gather souvenirs. Getting in was easy. The fence was topped with barbed wire, so we cut the chain at the gate and slipped right through. Then we smashed the locks on the front door, which wasn't equipped with any alarms. Right away, we were like degenerate kids inside of an illegal candy store. We dug through the ancient records in the booking station, trashed the sheriff's office, and we tried to find abandoned weapons in the armory, but all we found were some billy clubs. Then we found the jail cells. There were 4 of them lined up on one wall with the classic steel bars. Not only that, but on the far wall were the keys to the cells, just hanging there on a hook. Bennett and I started giggling like schoolchildren, thinking of everything we could do with the space. We decided to play cop and criminal, where one of us would lock the other one up in the cell and pretend to be a piggish deputy. We challenged each other to rock, paper, scissors to see who would be who, and I won, so of course I wanted to be the cop. I immediately started playing the character and ordered the criminal Bennett, who pretended to be in handcuffs, to get in his cell. Then I closed the gate behind him and I locked it with the keys. I could tell that Bennett was a little worried that I would intentionally leave him in there, but he tried to hide it and he kept the amusement going. We were lifelong friends, so I knew he trusted me. I wanted to mess with him though, so I told him to have fun rotting and I walked away. Then I went to the sheriff's office and kicked my feet up on the desk. A little while later, Bennett started yelling like a jailbird. "You better let me out, you goddamn pig," he shouted, his voice echoing through the cinderblock halls. "Shut up, you waste of flesh. You'll get out when you can pay your bail," I hollered back. "You didn't give me no bail, you bastard," Bennett complained, chuckling a little bit. "I know, 'cause all your money is stolen." I couldn't help but smile myself after that. "No, it ain't. You can't prove that." "Not yet," I yelled. And then for a moment, Bennett didn't reply. But then out of nowhere, he dropped the act. "I'm serious, man. Let me out, please. I can't take it in here anymore." A chill ran down my spine from the tone of his voice. I knew that he was being dead serious, so I got up from the desk and I ran down the hall to unlock the cell to let him out. But when I got there, he was gone. The cell door was still locked, but Bennett was gone. I started to panic, so I opened it up and I went inside to see if he was hiding under the bed, but he was nowhere to be found. "Bennett," I called out, "where are you?" There wasn't a single sound in reply, except the echo of my own voice. Then the sound of the door sliding shut behind me. I rushed to the door to keep it from closing on me, and I managed to put my hand in the way in the last second, causing the door to crush my wrist. I cried out in pain, then I pulled the door open, but for some reason, it was like there was someone fighting against me, trying to shut it. When I finally got free, I was full of fear and adrenaline. I didn't even go looking for Bennett. We always agreed that if things went south, we would take care of ourselves and meet up later, but Bennett never showed up. Days went by, then weeks. The police investigation of his disappearance led straight to me, and from there, you can already tell where the story's going. I got pinned for it. And even though I know I'm not responsible, I've always believed that there's nobody else on this plane of existence that should have taken the blame. Whatever got him almost got me too. Sometimes I wish it would have.